Was I bothered by the elections this year? That was like one of the biggest highlights, I think, that people were just talking about towards the end of the year. And there were just so many sides. And as you can see on social media, families, friends, so many people broke up relationships. And it was just like such a tumultuous, I think, divisive, um, what's the word, vile kind of period of time that people just, even on social media, just didn't know how to like just walk in kindness and just walk in this ability to have self-control. Like everyone just felt like they had the need to say whatever they wanted to say and just like indulge in their feelings. And granted, the world is expected to do that, but when you see that in the church, you have to ask yourself, like, why are we making these things more of an idol than they are? Not to say that we're supposed to be so detached from the world that we're not like, well, these things will affect me. Of course, anything, these are systems. So even though you're in it, you're in the world and not of it, like the systems we still got to work in, right? But I think it's like, at what point in our maturity as Christ followers do we realize that God is sovereign above every system? Again, anybody that wins, regardless of whether we like them or not, God put them there. And it's not to say that God put them there because they're a reflection of God, but God put them there for whatever reason that may be. So if it's a reason of I'm putting judgment, that's the reason. That's his reason. If it's a reason of I can work more with this person's heart and I can actually change their heart as a king, like he did King Cyrus, then that's his reason. If it's because, this is what the people wanted, this was their idol, so I'm gonna give it to them, that's his reason. Like, we just have to understand that God still put them there for whatever reason that is. And sometimes we might not understand it, but if we're so bent on like it not looking like what we think, or we're just so bent on, oh, this person is this and this person is that, it's like, regardless of who's in office, regardless of what is happening, God is sovereign. House serves the Lord, you don't have to worry about who's in office in anywhere. You don't have to worry about what's happening in the economy. You don't have to worry about what's happening in all these things. And again, it's not saying you're detaching yourself from it, but you're not worrying, because a worry means that there's a level of trust you've put in that versus the God that you serve. And so honestly, I felt like I wasn't bothered. Like, I was like, whoever wins, yes, was I bothered by certain things and I wasn't for certain things? Sure. But I wasn't bothered to be like, well, if either person wins, I'm gonna be so upset and I'm gonna be like, I can't do the Lord's work. I can't do what he's asked me to do. I can't, do my responsibilities around me. I gotta like practically be out of commission for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. No. Why? Why? Like, it doesn't matter at all, because again, God is sovereign. In your maturity as a believer, you know that like it doesn't matter who's here. Kings are gonna always change. The Bible tells us that kings are gonna change. People in rulership are going to change. The only one that doesn't change is Christ himself. He's going to still remain the same. So that's where our hope should be. Not just because that's where we think that's our hope when we get to heaven, but well when we're here. And so that's one of the questions I think we should all be asking ourselves as Christ followers. Like, were you really bothered? And if you were, why? And if you were, okay, cool. But for how long? Because like, if you was mourning for like weeks on weeks, or if you still mourning, like I think there's an issue here that we have to look within ourselves and say, why am I so attached? Why am I so angry? Why is there so much vitriol? Why is there so much that I'm so attached to that I can't let this go at this point?